What's up guys and welcome back! I assume most of you already know that AMD announced their Zen 3 aka Ryzen 4000 processors will be working on a B450 and X470 motherboards. And that's really great news! You do not have to buy an expensive X470 or upcoming B550 motherboard in order to have an awesome upgrade path. So in today's video I present you one of the best value motherboard, MSI B450 Tomahawk MAX. Before we get into it, a quick word from today's sponsor. VIPSEDKey.com has amazing deals on game keys from such platforms as Steam, Origin or Uplay. And more importantly, you can get a low-cost Windows 10 Pro license key and get rid of that watermark on your screen forever. And I even have an additional 15% code for you guys. You can use a link from a description below or type Windows 10 Pro OEM in a search bar, click buy now and apply promo code SKEGT. That's right, you will get a 15% discount from Windows 10 key price. Submit your order and you will be able to choose from variety of payment options here. Just use the one you like and that's it. You are free from that Windows 10 watermark forever. Alright, so a short recap of Ryzen 4000 series and motherboard support. Just a few weeks ago, AMD announced that upcoming Zen 3 will not support the older 300 and 400 chipset series. And so many people already owning motherboards with these chipsets will not be able to upgrade their CPU to a new lineup. But a few weeks later, AMD announced Zen 3 will be supported on B450 and X470 chipset motherboards. And that's awesome news, since you have a possibility to buy a cheaper motherboard and still have a good CPU upgrade path. So it brings us to one of the best price to performance rated motherboard, MSI B450 Tomahawk MAX. It has quite a nice industrial style black and gray color scheme. And since it's an ATX board, you will have quite nice expandability options. It has some lightning effect which can be controlled with MSI software, and it can be turned off in case you do not want it. You can use it with 1st, 2nd and 3rd gen Ryzen processors. And as I mentioned previously, an upcoming Ryzen 4000 will be supported as well. But in case you are looking for a smaller MATX board, I would highly recommend checking MSI B450 Motor, since it's basically a Tomahawk board just in a smaller form factor. Let's have a look at the main features this board provides. Nice VRMs and their cooling. This board has quite a nice VRMs, as well as they are cooled by quite a beefy heatsinks. Most probably you want to pair it with Ryzen 5 3600 or Ryzen 7 3700X. Also, this motherboard will handle overclocking with ease. You could even upgrade your CPU to a Ryzen 9 3900X, but you would want it to use at stock, since in case of an overclock, you will need to ensure a superb airflow over those VRM heatsinks. 4 RAM slots. While 16GB of RAM is really enough for gaming, you might need to opt in for more RAM in the future. That's why having 4 RAM slots are great. You will be able to add 2 more RAM sticks if needed. And not only that, this motherboard has really good memory overclocking, and so it supports RAM speeds over 4000 MHz. But from a value perspective, you would want to buy a 3200 or 3600 MHz RAM kit for 3rd gen Ryzen processors. 6 fan headers. Well, you heard me right. This board is packed with ton of fan headers. So one goes for your CPU cooler, one for water pump, and additional 4 can be used for case fans. And so in case you do not run a water pump, you will be able to use it for your fans as well. This provides a really good case fan customization, since you can connect each of them to dedicated fan header and set a different fan curves. 2 RGB headers. It's nice, especially if you are planning to use RGB fans as well as LED strip. so you can actually connect them to separate RGB headers and control them independently. Flash BIOS button. It's a nice feature when you need to update your BIOS. For example, you buy a new Ryzen 4000 series CPU and this motherboard. But in order for these new processors to work on B450 motherboard, you will need to update a BIOS. And so you can update it from a USB stick. Nice backplate. While it's not a super important thing to others, this is more like a bonus, especially when you want your build to look nice and clean from all sides. Awesome price for what you get. So at the time of recording, this motherboard is around $115 US. But having in mind it's quite a popular motherboard, it's not that easy to get one. But it's definitely worth waiting a week or two. Also, I have already mentioned, you can always look for a smaller brother MSI B450 mortar, which comes at around $10 cheaper. The only thing I miss is a second M.2 slot for storage expandability, but I can definitely live with that. Let's check what's happening at rear I/O panel. At first we have a flash BIOS button, then a PS2 port, two 2nd gen USB Type-A ports, DVI-D and HDMI 1.4 in case you decide to use a CPU with integrated graphics, two 3rd gen USB Type-A ports, a gigabit LAN, 3rd gen USB Type-A and Type-C ports, as well as 7.1 channel audio. So it's a really nice board, capable of handling overclocking and with a good CPU upgrade path. Sure, new B550 chipset motherboards will be released soon, so in case you are not in a rush, you might want to wait and check their reviews as well as pricing. But one thing for sure, B450 Tomahawk is a value king from a minute it was released. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, do not forget to like, subscribe and click that bell button, since you will help to bring even more unboxing videos to this channel. And see you soon!